What's up, Gotham Chess thumbnail designers? And I'm here today to tell you that there is a new bot on chess.com named Zach, who is so horrifically bad at chess that I played a game where I tried to lose against him. I tried my absolute best. It lasted over 130 moves, and I don't think anybody can guess how it ended. So let's get into it. Okay, so this is Zach. He's rated 100, which, let me remind you, is the lowest possible rating in chess, as in, like, the chess elo system does not allow you to go lower than 100. Like, if you're 100 elo and you lose 1,000 games in a row, you'll still be 100. I personally don't think there should be a lower limit on the elo system. I think it would be really funny to see some people with, like, negative 500 elo. Um, if that were the case, I would guess that Zach would be somewhere around like negative 2,800. He's like an evil Magnus Carlsen. Also in the game review, it shows his elo is 1, which I think is really funny and a lot more accurate than 100. Uh, but anyways, Zach starts with D3. I don't know what opening this is, but it's kind of shit. I respond with G5, the reverse, I think it's called the Borg. It's like a reverse Grob opening. Really, really shitty. He responds B4. I play C5. My idea here is just to push all of my pawns out and allow them all to be taken. So it's not only to push all of my pawns out, but to push them out in a way that they can be taken completely for free, right? He goes E4. I play F5, again giving up a pawn, and I did not even realize until now that this actually allows mate in 1. Queen H5 here is mate in 1. I didn't even realize that in the moment. I'm gonna be so serious. I did not realize that I like reverse full mated myself here. I was just trying to give up a pawn for free, but yeah, he had mate in 1 here. But he's 100 elo, so he's not gonna see that. He played, what did he play actually? H3, just completely mate in 1, completely misses it with H3. I go Queen A5, hanging my queen completely. But do you think he's gonna take? No, he's not gonna take. He's gonna play G4. I don't know what it is with this guy. He really just likes moving his pawns. Maybe he's just copying me. I played D5, hanging my queen again, and hanging a pawn, and hanging a pawn, and hanging a pawn. This is like, believe it or not, this is one of the more normal positions you're gonna see in this video. Okay, um, absolutely crazy. E5, missing the chance to capture my queen, my pawn, or my other pawn 2 different ways. I respond knight F6, hanging my knight completely. I had, I think, 23 blunders in this game, by the way. This is 4 in a row here. So get used to this. He plays E6, missing it completely again. So I play bishop D7, trying to hang my bishop with a check, with the idea that he takes with a check. I go here and let him queen, and then I'm completely losing, right? That's my idea. No. Instead, oh wait, that's not what he played. Instead, he goes, God damn it, H4. Okay, he had like 66 misses this game, I think. 66 if I remember correctly from the game review. Knight C6, another blunder, because my bishop is still hanging, my queen is still hanging, my pawn is still hanging, my pawn is still hanging. Everything is hanging in this position. It's like the French Revolution here. I'm hanging everything. A4, another miss by Zach. About half of his moves in this game are misses. Knight E4, hanging my knight completely. C4. Now, you're going to see this a lot, where I just jump forward with a piece, trying to hang it completely. He doesn't take it. He just pushes the pawn or something. That's what, like, most of this game was. I go knight G3. Once again, hanging my knight in 1 move, and the queen is still hanging, and this pawn is hanging, and this bishop is hanging. I'm not going to remind you every move of everything that's hanging. It's just, if a new hanging piece shows up, I'll show you. Okay, H5, another miss. I go knight E4, hanging my knight again on the same square that it was like 3 moves ago. Rook H3, I play queen B5, thinking, my queen is already hanging. Maybe if I move it over a little bit, now it's hanging 2 different ways. And, beginners, they get tunnel vision sometimes. I don't know why I'm talking like that. I'm a beginner. I'm rated 582. But, they get, like, tunnel vision. You move a piece on one side of the board, they're just looking at that side of the board. So I'm thinking maybe I attract his attention over here, and he's like, oh, wait, I can take this queen to... Yeah. Excuse me. I can take this queen 2 different ways. No, he plays D4. giving up the pressure on my knight, not taking the queen for free, not taking the bishop for free or the pawn. Everything is hanging in this position. Knight g3, again, re-blundering my knight. Queen c2, knight e5, blundering another knight while my other knight and my queen and my bishop's hanging. f3, again, just completely ignoring all the hanging pieces and pushing a pawn. Knight d3, knight d3 check, actually, giving up my knight two different ways. This is around the middle game. This is what I started doing. I started trying to not just hang pieces, but to hang them in as many different ways as possible, in the hopes that maybe he would see. Like, if he only has like 5 legal moves in a position and 3 of them are to capture my piece, maybe he'll capture it, right? No, he plays king d2, and now I'm winning. It's about equal, but black is better. It's minus 0.5. I go knight b2, hanging my knight 3 different... Oh, wait, excuse me. 3... Wait, no, that's only 2 different ways. Never mind. Rooks don't move diagonally. I forgot how to play chess. It's now plus 5.7 in the evaluation. Bishop g2, another miss. Pay attention to the evaluation bar, by the way. The entire game, you're just going to see it going up and down and up and down and up and down like it's doing jumping jacks. I don't even know what to compare it to. Knight e4 check, again, hanging my knight. I think only 2... Well, no, not taking with the queen wouldn't make any sense. Oh, wait, that's what he did. And now it's minus 4.8. I'm not going to take the queen, obviously. I'm going to play bishop g7 with the intention of playing bishop e5, hanging my bishop 2 different ways. He goes rook a3, and I play bishop e5 now. My bishop is hanging 2 different ways. My dark squared bishop, that is. My light squared bishop is only hanging 1 way. My queen is still hanging 2 ways. My knight is still hanging. He goes king c2. And king c2 is a blunder, but I'm thinking, okay, maybe we're taking a step in the right direction. Maybe he's looking to capture my knight. I mean, he could have just taken with the bishop, but maybe he really wants to take with the king, and that's, he's just walking his king over to take my horse. Okay, great. I play knight d3, hanging my knight, again, 2 different ways, just being like, okay, take it, here. And he actually does. He takes with the king in this position. I go rook g8, intending to play rook g6 and hang my rook, and I can't think of the word I'm trying to say. Rook g6, intending to hang my rook, and consequentially my pawn. I don't know if that's the word I was looking for. Knight d2, okay? Rook g6, like I said, hanging my rook, another blunder. Knight e2, just a complete miss. Bishop g3, hanging my bishop 2 different ways. I don't think I've yet hung a piece 3 different ways, but I'm going to. Rook h1, just completely stepping back. He could have taken with the rook, he could have taken with the knight, but instead he removes an attacker from my bishop and undevelops his rook to h1. So I long castle in this situation. I don't know why. I just long castled. He goes a5. Now my queen is only hanging 1 way. That makes me kind of sad, so I play queen a4. It's still only hanging 1 way, but it's the same idea of attracting his attention, over to this side of the board. I'm just drawing shit. Being like, oh, hey, he just moved his queen here. Maybe I can take it, right? No, of course that doesn't happen. That was an inaccuracy. What the hell? But anyways, that does not happen. He plays knight c3. I'm thinking, again, okay, maybe we're making progress. Maybe he's attacking my queen, intending to take. He could have just taken with the rook, but maybe he really wants to take with the knight. Okay, perfect. I'm going to go bishop b5, hanging my bishop 2 different ways. He actually takes it. I was shocked. That was a mistake, apparently, but he actually took with the pawn. I played rook d7, intending to hang my rook completely with a check, after which I would go, I was thinking here, queen, it's mate in 1. That was my idea. He takes, and then I go to the corner, and he makes a queen, and it's mate. It's mate, right? He's not gonna miss that, right? God, I was so blissfully ignorant. Knight b1, just completely. I don't know what the point of that even is. I really don't. So I go queen b3. I think this only hangs the queen 1 way. But still, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go on a journey with my queen. I'm going to bring her, like, all around these squares, I didn't end up doing that. I ended up doing that with one of my other pieces later on in the game, though. Gf5, which apparently is a blunder. I can't imagine why. I go bishop e1, intending to hang my bishop 2 different ways. Is that? Yeah, it's only 2 different ways. Rook a4, again, removing an attacker from my queen. Now my queen isn't hanging at all, actually. Believe it or not, my queen is surrounded by like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white pieces, and even more if you count these ones out here, and she is not hanging anymore because Zach played rook a4. So I go bishop d2, hanging my bishop 3 different ways. He goes rook a3. For some reason, he just moved the rook, like he moved the rook down to a4 just to move it back up to a3 on the very next move. Crazy. I played h6. I'm not sure what my intention with h6 was, really. I think I was just looking for a move. I was just looking to play something. He plays f6, completely, refusing to take my rook. But my rook is still hanging 2 ways because the queen, like, x-rays through the pawn. But now I'm thinking, okay, this is good. He has 2 pawns pretty deep into my territory. One of them is hitting my rook. One of them is hitting my pawn. Surely he's going to, like, push through and promote one of them, make a queen I'm going to lose, right? Great. So I play g4. Again, I don't know what to do, so I'm just pushing pawns. fe7. Okay, great. He's 1 step away from making a queen, right? This has to be great. So now I'm thinking king b8, right? The eval is now showing mate in 3 with, what's that? Queen e5 check. I don't know. I'm not going through all that. But yeah, king b8 with the intention of him going here, making a queen. Oh, shit. Going here, making a queen, and just, like, forcing mate in a couple of moves, you know? So he plays e8 knight. He makes a fucking knight. Okay, great. This is some, like, Martin level shenanigans. I've seen Martin under promote to knights several times. It makes sense that Zach is Martin's nephew. So I play rook f6, excuse me, hanging my rook again. I'm not sure. Oh wait, I remember what I intended to do here was play rook f7, sacrificing both rooks and hoping that this pawn will also push through and, you know, become a queen, or as we've seen Zach do already, become a knight. He plays rook a4. Again, he's now spent 3 moves just shuffling this rook back and forth between a3 and a4. So I play queen a3, hanging my queen 3 different ways, right? You can take with the knight, you can take with the bishop, you can take with the rook. I'm sure they're all about equally as good. He plays f4. Just f4. He can take my queen 3 different ways, and he pushes a pawn on the opposite side of the board. Great stuff. So I play rook f7, you know, obviously hanging both rooks, you know, it's not pick your poison. Pick your rook to take, I guess. I don't know. It's like 11 p.m. I can't think right now. He refuses to take either one and plays e7. Great stuff. Now, I play rook d8, right? Re-sacrificing the rook. It is now mate in 1. This is the first time in the game, I think, that one side has mate in 1. Before it was mate in 3 for white. It's now mate in 1. You can take the rook, make a queen, and it's mate. I'm thinking he literally has mate in 1. There's no way he misses this. a6. Great stuff. So I play b6, you know, following his values, I guess, of just refusing to take things with pawns and instead pushing them. It's still mate in 1. I believe it's still, yeah. e8 queen is still mate in 1 because the king's only escape square b7 is covered by the pawn. So it's still mate in 1. But do you think Zach is going to find that? No, he's going to play rook g1. Oh god, he's going to play rook g1 with the intention to I don't even know. I don't think he has any intentions. I play g3. I'm just looking for moves. I'm like, you know, I'm going to give him mate in 1 for as many moves in a row. This is now, I think, 3 or 4 moves in a row he's had mate in 1. He misses it again. He plays rook d1. Great stuff. I play bishop e1, hanging my bishop 2 different ways, but more importantly, hanging mate in 1 for the 4th move in a row. Of course, Zach doesn't see that. He goes bishop e3 because he sees me move my dark squared bishop onto the e file, and he's like, oh, I can do that too. Also, fun fact, my queen is now only hanging 2 different ways. So this is progress. Rook f8, hanging my other rook, but in this case, it doesn't really make any sense to take the rook on the f file when you can take the rook on the d file, and it's literally mate in one. So he's not going to take the rook on the f file. He's going to... Okay, he made... he makes... okay, ef8 knight again. After playing e8 knight, like a few moves ago. On move 34, he played e8 knight. It's now move 42, and he plays ef8 knight. Perfect. I play rook d6, just hanging the rook completely. It's now mate in 6, apparently. I don't think any human below, like, 2,000 is finding mate in 6 here. He plays rook e1, which surprisingly is a good move, actually. Fascinating. Okay. I play rook g6, hanging the rook 3 different ways. It's now mate in 3 for white. He plays rook c1, which is a miss, but white is still completely winning. It's plus 13, right? Zach is up 23 points of material, and it's plus 13. So rook g4, I don't know what I was doing, actually. This doesn't even hang my rook at all. Oh, wait, I forgot. This is the part of the game I was talking about. I go on a journey around the board with my rook. Rook d6, rook g6, rook g4, rook h4, rook h1, rook f1, one square away from taking his rook for free, but instead I hang mine 2 different ways. Rook f2, rook a2, rook h2, rook h4, rook g4, rook g6, again, hanging the rook 2 different ways. And now rook d6. And I played a check here because I figured, queen d3 check is a very forcing move. You only have a handful of legal moves. You can't capture with any piece besides the king, and you have 2 legal moves in this position, right? You can't go to f2 because it's covered by my pawn, so you have to either go to f3 or take the queen completely for free. So obviously you're going to take the queen. No, never mind, he's going to go to f3, which is a good move, apparently, and not a miss. I mean, it's one of 2 legal moves. So I play another check here, hanging my queen completely. I'm trying to force him to take my queen at this point. By the way, let's just look at that journey my rook made. It went... just look at this. Look at this fucking buffoonery. This rook is immortal. It still has not been taken. Now, queen f3 check. I'm trying to force him to take my rook. Now I play queen e2, excuse me, which is somehow a good move. It hangs my queen 2 different ways and all but forces him to take it. He doesn't take it, though. He plays king c1. Queen d2 check. He finally takes my queen. Because he was forced to, I think. I believe, yeah. The king has no legal moves here. My queen is hanging 3 different ways. So, in this position, I found a way to hang my queen by force. Because the king has absolutely no legal moves, so he's forced to take my queen. That was a nice little thing I found. Rook d5, queen e6, king c7 is the best move? I was just thinking to run my king out into the center of the board and, like, go all around everywhere. Maybe even give the enemy king a smooch. That was the best move, apparently. Okay, 97 check. I'm running out of legal moves here. I'm like, wait, he might actually be about to checkmate me. It's mate in 2 for white. Can he find mate in 2? Well, he plays queen g6. Okay, it's still mate in 3 for white. It's still... Oh my god, my nose is stuffy. Excuse me. Okay, I play g2. I'm just looking to play shit. He is 1 square away from taking my pawn absolutely for free. He misses it. So I follow Zach's tactics, and I make a knight, which he does not take, of course. He just starts running with his king. And now, we're kind of at an impasse here, because, like, white is 100% winning. Every move you'll see mate in 3, mate in 4, mate in 5, but white is never going to find that, So for dozens of moves, I don't know what to do. And a couple situations like this where he actually gives me a check, I'm like, oh, wait, is he going to checkmate me, actually? No, of course he's not. It's just, for the longest time here, I could not find a way through. I was trying to force him to take this pawn, but of course he doesn't. He runs away. I'm pushing. I make another knight, and I'm just shuffling. I take a pawn to get my king forward. This part pissed me off. I took a pawn. I'm trying not to take any of his pieces because I wanted to have the biggest advantage possible, but I take a pawn. My rook is hanging two different ways, right? Bishops don't move like that. And I'm thinking to move my king to d5, to try and run up the other side of the board. He plays knight f6, preventing my king from going to d5. Zach is so bad at chess that he's accidentally weaving a mating net around my king. In this position, I think my king only has one legal move, and it's king c7, but of course I don't want to go backwards, I'm trying to run to the opposite side of the board. I play rook c4, and it's just, again, I hang my knight two different ways. I'm just trying to find moves that hang my pieces in as many ways as possible. And in this position, I'm trying... Rook c1 check is best! What? I was trying to force him to take something here. I was trying to force him to take the knight. He has two legal moves, okay? Two legal moves. King b2 or king takes a2. I'm almost forcing him to take my knight, but of course he doesn't. He plays king b2, which apparently is the best move. Crazy enough. What would have? Oh shit! Wait, now it says king takes a2 is best. What? Okay, I guess the moves are about equal, but he plays king b2. I'm going here. I'm just giving checks. I'm trying to find a way. I'm trying to give a check. His king is backed into the corner. Very little breathing room. So I'm trying to find a way to give a check where, he is forced to take a piece. His only legal move is to take one of my pieces. He finally does, because I actually found a way. In this situation, I found a way to hang my rook by force. He can't go here, it's covered by the knight. Can't go here, it's covered by the rook. He can't take with the king because it's covered by the knight, so he is forced to take with the rook. So I have hung one of my rooks by force. I play knight e3, obviously. I'm not going to recapture. He plays bishop c8 for some reason. All of this shit going on. His rook is hanging in the corner. His king is trapped in the corner. He has to do something over here, and he just flings his bishop to the opposite side of the board. And we're once again at a point where I'm just going. I'm running my king up the board, and I'm shuffling my knights around. I take a pawn here to try and get my my pawn forward, I'm trying to push my pawn forward, and we're just shuffling pieces. Nothing is going on here. I'm trying to give something up. I make a third knight. There are 3 knights on the board, and I'm trying to give something up, but I just can't. I'm trying so hard. I want him to take one of my pieces. I insist. Please take one of my pieces. I'm just shuffling my knights around. Now, here, I'm trying to also, trap the king in the corner and force him to take a piece like I did with my rook, So I bring the knight, right? He can't take either of these knights. These knights defend each other. He can't take either of them, but he can take this one. But of course he doesn't. He plays, what even was that? Knight f6. God, I'm tired. So I give him another check, right? King b1 is the best move, apparently. I guess actually he couldn't have taken either of these knights. They're still defending each other. I played knight d2 check. See, what's crazy here is it looks like white is mated, in the corner. There's no way, right? There has to be a checkmate here. No. King b1 is forced. Rook d3 check. King f2. Was that queen h4 check? And then king g2, queen g3 is mate. That's queen h3, excuse me. Queen g3 is mate. Stockfish is still finding mates in this position. There's still so many mates for white, even though white seems to be forced into the corner with no breathing room, right? So that was the best move, apparently. I'm just shuffling pieces around, trying to hang my knights in as many ways as possible. I take the pawn to once again push this pawn forward, and I have an idea, since the king is trapped in his little corner here, I'm going to trap him with the knights, and then I'm going to push my pawn, forward and forward and forward and forward, and I'm going to force it. I'm going to eventually give a pawn check on a2 that forces him to take one of my knights. That's my idea. So I move my knight out of the way, and I just go pushing. A5, A4, knight, A5, A4, knight D4, queen H8, A3. Now it's still mate in 6, for white. Queen H4. In this position, I start bringing the knights, knight B3, knight there. You'll see it's now mate in 1 for black, apparently. Mate in 1 for black. Crazy how quick shit just escalates. And now I have an idea here. I'm like, oh, okay, if I play, A2, that's a check. It's going to force him to move. He's going to have to take one of the knights or take my pawn, So that's my idea. So I play A2 and accidentally win the game by checkmate. Because the knight guards the pawn, the knight guards the knight covers C2, and the other knight covers A1. This game was 134 moves long, and I accidentally won. I accidentally won on move 134 with a pawn checkmate. I cannot believe this. I don't have anything else to say for you guys. If you think I should make a video where I record myself trying to lose to Zach, let me know. But that's all I have for you. Bye.